Welcome back, students. Now we are going to discuss a very important question called as secondary structures of proteins. Let's start. We already said that proteins can be categorized based on their structures into 4 different categories: primary, secondary, tertiary and quaternary. Let's now start with the secondary structures. Secondary structures again are further divided into 2 more categories, that is alpha helix and the next one is beta pleated sheet. Let's start with the first, that is an alpha helix structure. Now what exactly is secondary structure? Then secondary structures are nothing but structures in which amino acid exists as looped, coiled, stretched or folded units to give a particular shape of protein molecule, which refers to its secondary structure. Let's take an example. We already have a primary structure of protein wherein you had a backbone in this case. Now suppose if this backbone, instead of keeping it horizontal, let's keep it vertical. What would happen? We get a compound like this. Now imagine if we hold this compound from first tip and then try to rotate this compound in a clockwise direction, then we are bound to get a spirally coiled unit, which would be something like this. This spirally coiled unit, if it has the first turn originating towards right hand side, then it would be called as alpha helix structure. Similarly, now to get a good idea about this structure, the alpha helical structure looks something like this, wherein you have actually a spirally coiled structure. Moving further, now let's take this alpha helix, but now instead of keeping it vertical, let's imagine this as an horizontal structure. Suppose if we stretch this horizontal structure, then it would result into structure something like this. Am I right? Yes. Now, just imagine, students, could you form a small triangle out of this structure? Then yes, you would get a wave-like structure originating. Now, if this is one chain, imagine many such chains, they come together, lie side by side onto each other, and they are held together by intermolecular forces of bonding. That is, might be hydrogen bonds or van der Waals forces of attraction. Thus, it would result into a structure something like this. Let's see, I have all the chains now collaborating in one another. So I get a structure something like a roof, and this structure, which would now be oriented something like this, would be called as a beta pleated sheet structure, wherein between the 2 structures or between the 2 chains you have hydrogen bonds which are originating, and this entire structure would give rise to a secondary structure known as beta pleated sheets. So this was all about beta pleated sheets and alpha helix, that is nothing but secondary structures of protein. A very, very important question with respect to your boards. You need to learn this. Now, this was all for this module. Meet you in the next module. Till then, thank you, students.